In this video, we are going to learn how to solve rational equations. So let's go ahead and get started. I have 9 over 3x equals 4 over x plus 2. The easiest way to solve rational equations with fractions in them is to get rid of the fractions. We don't like them. So some teachers will teach cross multiplication, which does apply. And that's when you multiply across the equal sign. So if I do 3x across the equal sign up to the 4 and x plus 2 up to the 9, I end up with 9 times x plus 2 equals 4 times 3x. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and distribute the 9. I get 9x plus 18 equals 12x. I'm going to subtract 9x from both sides. I get 18 equals 3x, divide by 3, and I get x equals 6. Now, what you have to do with rational equations is you do need to check, because sometimes you'll end up with a denominator equaling 0, and it's impossible to divide by 0. So we just have to make sure that if we plug in 6 into the denominator, it doesn't become 0. 3 times 6 is not 0, it's 18, and 6 plus 2 is 8, not 0, so we're good. All right, for number 2, I can't cross multiply because I have multiple things going on the right side of this equation. So I need to get a common denominator first in order to do this. Or I can multiply everything by x minus 2 to get rid of the denominator. If I multiply every term by x minus 2, which I'm allowed to do because this is an equation, so I can, as long as I do it to both sides, we're good. What happens is the x minus 2 cancels out here, so I'm left with 5x. 7 times x minus 2 doesn't cancel out, but that's okay. It doesn't give me a fraction. And then for 10 over x minus 2 times x minus 2, that cancels out. So I have plus 10. So now we have 5x equals 7x minus 14 plus 10, and I just get to solve this equation. I can subtract 7x over, and I get negative 2x, and I'm left with negative 4 on the right side, right? That's negative 14 plus 10. I'm just going to divide by negative 2, and I get x equals positive 2. So next, we have to check that it doesn't make our denominators of x minus 2 equal 0. Well, if I plug in 2, I get 2 minus 2, which is 0. That's not possible. If I plug it back in, I'm going to get something that doesn't work. So that means we actually don't have a solution because 2 doesn't work. We have no solution. And that happens sometimes. No solution. All right, let's keep practicing. For number 3, this one is similar to the first one that we did. I just have 2 fractions that equal each other, so we can cross multiply. I get 6 times x plus 1 equals 9 times x minus 1. I'm going to distribute, get 6x plus 6, 9x minus 9. Let's go ahead and move things around. I'm going to add 9 to both sides and subtract 6x from both sides. I'm going to do 2 steps at the same time. You can do whatever you like. It's totally fine. I get 3x on the right, and I get 15 on the left. So if I divide by 3, I get 5 equals x. Gotta do a quick check. If I plug in 5 into my denominators, I'm good. I'm not gonna get 0, so this is our answer. All right, let's take a look at number 4. I cannot cross multiply. I have 2 terms on the left side. So instead what I'm going to do is I want to get rid of the denominator. The denominator is x, so if I multiply everything by x, that's what I have to do, but it will get rid of the denominator. So I'm going to multiply everything by x. Okay, so denominator goes away for the 6. I get 6 plus x times x is x squared. 7 times x is just 7x. And now we have an x squared, which means we have to solve this by factoring. I'm going to subtract 7x from both sides, and I'm going to rewrite this as a quadratic. X squared minus 7x plus 6 equals 0. I know that negative 6 times negative 1 will multiply to positive 6, but add to negative 7. So when I factor this, I get x minus 6 times x minus 1 equals 0. Or I have two solutions. I have x equals 6, and I also have x equals 1. Okay, I want to do a quick check, make sure I can plug them into the denominator and it works out. Neither of them will make that equal 0, so they are both solutions. All right, let's look at one more problem. Here I have a lot of things going on, and what I want to do first is factor. So I'm going to factor the denominators before I cross multiply. I have x squared minus 6x plus 9, so that's got to be x minus 3 times x minus 3 equals 3x over, and I can take an x out, times x minus 3. Okay, so what we can start doing is, I can actually simplify a little bit on this side. These x's are going to cancel out. So I have 9 over x minus 3 times x minus 3 equals 3 over x minus 3. And you can go ahead and cross multiply. I have 9 times x minus 3 equals 3 times x minus 3 times x minus 3. I have the same thing being multiplied on both sides. So I'm actually going to divide both sides by x minus 3, and that will get rid of one of those. So now I have 9 equals 3 times x minus 3, so I'm going to distribute that. And now I can go ahead and solve this. Add 9 to both sides, I get 18 equals 3x. Divide by 3, I get x equals 6. So let's go ahead and check this. So I'm going to check both. This one's a little different. I'm going to use the factored forms. I have x minus 3 times x minus 3 as one denominator, and then x times x minus 3. If I plug in 6 for either one of those, I do not end up with 0, so x equals 6 is our solution. Thanks for watching.